They grow so well in this area and they're so beautiful. And just to make sure that for the future there was some sort of woodland that could be used, maybe not by me, but my children, by other people on this site. It was something that could be there permanently because the place of trees. I'm watching people who usually are living in cities, just walking through the trees and finding, or coming and sitting under the trees in the summer is special. Or times when there have been treasure hunts through the trees. Minor things, but and just somewhere you bring children who've grown up in the city and you can actually talk about the trees and identify, enjoy, collect leaves, actually explore. Watching how big different species have grown, but also how some of the species that we weren't so sure would grow have grown well. Everything's done well, bar the odd few, the false acacias and the honey locusts. I remember we were talking about it 10 years ago. They fell to slugs. Okay. Walnuts found it difficult, but some of them have managed. But I'd like to see that, that you've got a good piece of woodland that can grow and become an old piece of woodland with walks amongst it. And I never intended this site to be one just for commercial use, but for amenity use. Right. And I'd like to see it become a permanent amenity.
And would you like to take timber out of it at all?
Oh yes, if it's possible. But yes, it would be, it is, besides being an amenity, it's also a valued resource. Mm-hmm. It's been great, and the trees speak for themselves. Okay. Quite loudly sometimes. Although there never was a Celtic tree calendar as such, if there is one, this is it. I mean, you have, you'd start with the birch, which is beginnings, which is sort of January, and February you'd move on to the rowan, which is all about the protection and the coming of the year, and then you get the ash and the alder. And it's interesting, the alder, the ash was always associated with spears and the spring, and sort of, you know, like the alder is to do with shields in Irish, and then you have the willow and the hawthorn, which, oddly enough, in the old early Irish name, would you believe its name means horror, which is interesting. The oak, which is all about strength. You have the holly and the apple and called the hazel, and then there was supposed to be ivy and bramble. We couldn't grow the reed because the reed would have just looked as though I hadn't scrimmed a circle, so we put in the guelder rose. And then finally you have the elder, and last of all the blackthorn, and behind it is a yew. And you're back to birch again. But it makes a wonderful garden space, a theatre space, and everybody just likes to sit here, play here, and have fun here.